And President Kennedy's murder not only marked a turning point for the nation, it was a coming of age for television, including CBS News. We heard Bob Schieffer talk about that. And this is what some of our viewers saw live 50 years ago today.
Here is a bulletin from CBS News. In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas. This is Walter Cronkite in our newsroom in New York City. There has been an attempt, as perhaps you know now, on the life of President Kennedy. He was wounded in an automobile driving from Dallas Airport into downtown Dallas, along with Governor Connolly of Texas. They've been taken to Parkland Hospital there, where their condition is as yet unknown. We have just learned, however, that Father Huber, one of the 2 priests called into the room, has administered the last sacrament of the church to President Kennedy. From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, some 38 minutes ago.
The bulletin is that our correspondent in Dallas, Dan Rather, reports that the Dallas police have arrested a 30-year-old man who was found with a weapon in his possession.
Can you tell me what your first reaction was, ma'am, when you...
Tragedy that ever happened to this country since President Lincoln.
Ma'am?
I can't say that.
People will remember today as a date to date things in their lives from, in the same way that they did in the case of President Roosevelt. To say, where were you when President Roosevelt died? They will say the same thing about where were you when you first heard the news of President Kennedy's assassination. This is the scene at Andrews Air Force Base where the casket of carrying the body of President Kennedy is being transferred to an ambulance. Behind it come Mrs. Kennedy and Robert Kennedy.
We'll be quiet now and wait for the new president's word. We have suffered a loss that cannot be weighed. For me, it is a deep personal tragedy.
Here is the suspect. Will you roll it, please?
Did you shoot the president? I didn't shoot anybody, no, sir.
You just heard Oswald, who said he did not shoot anybody.
As this day draws to a close, here is a brief summary of its events, past and to follow. Upon today's assassination of President Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson became the new President of the United States. This is Harry Reasoner. Good night.
This was a CBS News special report.
And beginning today, CBSNews.com will stream the CBS coverage from November 22nd, 1963, as it aired in real time. And that begins at 1:38 p.m. Eastern and continues over the next 4 days. Incredible.
It'll be an education for a lot of people. CBS News' original coverage of that assassination has been put together in a DVD set. It's also available on demand. It includes Walter Cronkite's investigative reporting on the Warren Commission report. And you can learn more about this by going to CBSThisMorning.com.